862 delegates carry the future of the United Methodist Church.
We have 12.4 million members around the globe. We have over 7 million in the U.S. So obviously, we're not going to experience things in the same ways. We're not going to agree on everything. We know that about human sexuality going in.
In May, those delegates will grapple with the question that's been looming over the church for years. How do you split one of the largest denominations in the world? Tensions over LGBTQ acceptance culminated last year in a special legislative session. In that session, delegates voted on a traditional plan that upheld bans on same-sex marriage ceremonies and gay clergy members. Church leaders appear to agree on one front. There's no reconciling their differences, and the church needs a way forward.
In our book of discipline, we can say a lot and be very explicit. We can say a little and be implicit. We can say nothing. That's true about any topic. It's true about human sexuality as well. So what we're seeking to discern is what's the best language for us to include in our book of discipline to help us be effective in our ministry.
Groups within the denomination will present different plans for splitting, which will require a majority vote from delegates to pass into church law.
I tend to call it the best ideas that the members of our churches have for our future and for how we organize for ministry.
One plan, called the Protocol of Reconciliation and Grace Through Separation, has gathered traction. A group of traditional and progressive leaders developed the protocol with the help of a mediator. The plan appears to be giving some church leaders hope for a church-wide compromise.
And I think it gave them an opportunity to work with people that they might typically see themselves as working against. And it brought them together, and it brought them to something that is more in the middle and more encompassing of who we are.
Lori Jo Cranford, a district superintendent for Northeast Tennessee, said she is disheartened to see how far the issue divides the church she's been a part of for her entire life.
When I see colleagues who quit speaking to one another because they're on different sides of one issue, or when I hear people saying they might or might not leave the church because of one issue, it's heartbreaking. Because what I think it does is it diminishes who we are. And that hurts everybody.
The UMC would continue under the protocol, and a new traditionalist denomination would be formed if the plan passes. The plan also leaves the door open for churches to form additional denominations. Regional conferences could vote to join a new Methodist denomination or stay in the UMC under the protocol. While the protocol makes headlines, leaders say it's too early to celebrate a compromise.
But the reality is, whatever goes when it's proposed on the floor, it could go through multiple changes there and look very different coming out. We can, talk about the what ifs of certain plans, and those plans may never even be voted on.
Local pastors say they keep congregation members updated on the progress of the General Conference. But at the end of the day, they say they keep their focus on their ministries.
I mean, it's unfortunate anytime you have a split in a church denomination. At the same time, I do believe that God makes beauty out of our brokenness. And so wherever we're serving, I believe God will be amongst us, and that this will not overall put an end to what God is doing for us here in this community.
If a plan of separation is passed at the conference, an official split would not be instant. Details over assets and personnel wait to be answered through the legislative process, which Cranford said could take years. The only thing that's certain, she said, is the conference will conclude with more questions than answers.
I mean, to me, it's exciting and it's hopeful because we've got some starting points that allow us to move forward rather than continuing to be stuck and arguing.
And so it's a challenge to try to stay together, to work together, to honor each other, to listen to each other, to listen to God's leading, to listen to each other's life experiences. We seek to do that, and when we do that well, it's a beautiful thing.
Jessica Fuller, News Channel 11.